Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We'll take a quick look at a couple of other things before we get into it, but I'll jump right in, give you my financial opinion, and let's dive right in. We've got the dollar behind me, the DXY. Usually when the DXY is heading lower, it's a tailwind to commodities because commodities are priced in dollars. But we've been strong. We've had a strong US, or I should say, we've had a strong DXY, which is a relative currency. The DXY is relative to other things. We've had a weak dollar, but a strong DXY because it's priced in other currencies. It's a ratio. And here we are going sideways with it. We've had the 10-year moving higher at 2.1%. And this 10-year has been resilient. It has been moving on higher. We had this sell-off day where I think the Fed came in and tried to stop these last 2 days here. And then we came down. Now we're starting to head back up. And gold usually doesn't like an increasing 10-year yield. We've gone sideways here a little bit. It's been holding up quite well. We're still above the pattern here, which when you're sitting on top of a pattern, that is positive for a move higher, usually. Eventually. It's not immediate. It could be immediate. We don't know the timing, but usually it's okay, a low risk entry point, to be buying on top of patterns that have broken out to the upside. That's usually what I do, is I buy the back test of the retest of the pattern. So gold's looking good. Silver's looking good too, as it's sitting right on its support line. And then platinum getting a little bit more buying pressure than the other ones today, up 1% versus the others, but it's within its pattern, sitting on top of a pattern. It's this pattern here that's sitting on top of another pattern. That's usually bullish. We're just waiting for a takeoff. That's really what we're waiting for. At least that's what I'm waiting for. Looking at XEU to gold ratio, that is moving favorably today. We're right on support. And I do like it down here, guys. I really do like a lot of the companies of where they're at. The ratio, I'd like to see this break this trend line. It says need to break this line for happiness. We'd like to break out of here. We have not broken it yet. But I think with an inflationary environment that it is a good probability, a high probability of occurring, given the market conditions and the inflation in the system. We're waiting for the money to rotate into these sectors. That's what's happening. And it's starting to rotate already. We're starting to see some movement in some of these areas where we've broken out of patterns and we're doing basically one last consolidation before I think we move higher. This here is a pattern which will probably need to consolidate for a little bit, but it will eventually come. The market conditions will force the money to rotate into this stuff. That's what I'm saying. So EXK, we're sitting on top of a pattern. This actually looks good. I like it over here. We're starting to get big buying pressure days. The sellers aren't really killing it too bad. I think it looks good for a potential move higher. That's EXK. FSM, very similar chart setup to EXK. Looks very good, sitting basically a falling wedge. We've broken out. We've done some meandering sideways. And now we're just waiting for the buyers to step in and push it higher. I don't see a bunch of selling pressure killing this. This looks pretty good on this side. Bigger buying candlesticks, smaller selling candlesticks. That is a trait for a move higher. So we're sitting on top of a pattern. We're low within the big pattern. We're low down here in the big pattern. We've broken out of this descending wedge. I think this is a good low risk area to be looking. SILJ, another one that's sitting on top of a resistance support line. And we're sitting on top of it right there, that support line. So that looks okay. GDX, we've got the bullish engulfing there, small selling pressure afterwards, sitting on support. That looks good. And then we're inside of a pattern that's on top of another support line. Looks good. Metallic minerals, this guy is looking okay. We've got good buying pressure all through here. Slow leak off of sellers. And eventually this will work its way, I think, on up. This is a booty bottom pattern. Looking at Koya Resources, getting a little bit of buying pressure today. Again, these are smaller companies and they usually respond last. Discovery Silver, another one that had a little bit of a sell-off today, but still holding on. We've got First Majestic Silver. It doesn't look too bad. You take a big picture view, it's right low on its support. So we're coming up to support down here. Good spot to be looking at it for a potential pickup, in my opinion, for myself. Looking at NEM, NEM's in this big pattern. We broke out, did a little fake breakout, pulling on back for the retest, and we'll see if we launch. Mag Silver, another one that had an up day today. Big bullish engulfing there. Is this a double bottom? We'll find out. I like precious metals. Look good. They don't look bad. They do look good. And this is big long-term picture of of Yamana Gold. Oh wait, I already put a line in there. It's going to draw the lines on there. Looks like we're coming up. We're just coming up to this resistance line. Aftermath Silver. I mean, we're low here, guys. This is getting pretty low down here. We'll see where we go. But eventually this is going to put in a double bottom pattern where you've got one bottom, the second bottom, and this is very cheap. Not a bad spot to be looking. If you're a patient investor, if you're impatient, this isn't a good buy. If you're very patient and you're waiting, you can wait and you're going for the absolute bottom price that you can, this might be one to look at. PLG, a little bit of a pullback today, still looks fine. Siboney Stillwater, it's just going sideways. Big picture view, I don't really see too much of a pattern in this thing. Kind of tough to read. Sandstorm Gold sitting on top of that support line. We're right in the middle of resistance support. The blue support, the white is another resistance support line. It doesn't look too bad. We just hit our head on it. Franco-Nevada moving slightly higher today, right on support. EMX getting a little bit of buying pressure on that support area. These all look pretty good if you like these companies. And EMX doesn't have a ton of, they're not bringing in the cash like some of these other ones. They got that, looks like last quarter they did, but most of the time they don't. So a little more speculative on that one. Tune Resources still getting hit in the short term there. Wheaton Precious Metals, this guy's a cash cow. It's a pattern it's a pattern sitting on top of a pattern. So that looks good. Gold Royalty Corporation, that's down there. It's had some selling pressure. Metalla Royalty moving sideways. Mavericks Metals looking good. I know they got some cash. Royal Gold looking good. They make some money if you can look. You're making the dough. Making the dough, Joe. Cisco Gold Royalties moving sideways. A little bit of buying pressure right here. This is a bullish engulfing. If I were to zoom on out, that's what it looks like. We're kind of squeezing up here. And then Altius Minerals, this is not a precious metals company, but it is a royalty company, and I just keep it here with the royalties. This one looks good. It's sitting on top of a pattern. They've got copper, iron ore, potash. They've got a whole bunch of different minerals. Very profitable. Looks like their revenue and income is doing quite well. Annually, they're starting to make some more money. That's good. That's good. It's a smaller royalty company. So that's what I've got for today, guys. For the precious metals, I think they look good. We're sitting on top of patterns. Eventually, I think the money will flow in here. We're just early to this game, which is good. You want to be early. You don't want to be late. You want to be in there making the most amount of money as possible, and some of these patterns look pretty good. We're sitting on top of things. That's good. And it's been like this for a while. I get it. People want things to move. They want to see action. They want to see price movement. They want to see something shiny fly by. I get it. Okay? You want to be entertained and enthralled and have emotional highs and lows. But the way you make money is you stick to a strategy. You buy things when they're down. And right now, I think gold and silver's down. So I think they're pretty good bets. And I'm looking at them. I'm going to add into my 401k here some precious metal stuff. Mining companies and royalty company type stuff. And I'm going to be remaining positive on it until I see negative signs, which I don't see. I see positive signs. All right, guys, if you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website if you want. Platinum membership, it's in the description link below. I do question and answer sessions, and we're going to have 2 this Sunday. If you want to ask questions and ask, hey, what do you think of this chart pattern? I can give you my opinion. I can't give advice. I can't do any of that stuff. But I can tell you what I think it might, what I like or dislike about it, and give you guys some financial education on market conditions and stuff like that and ratios. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.